maybe put a date on it, right? And don't say anything. For whatever reason, this alchemist, they use cheaper ingredients, so there's a shelf life or whatever.
Sure. I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nerdarchy Steve.
Welcome to Nerdarchy.
For nerds, by nerds.
All right, looks like it's that time again. Some D&D Beyond homebrew. What do we got up this time?
All right, so we're going to be doing our top 10 homebrew potions. And the way we do it is we pick, we pick what we consider the most popular by how often something is viewed. So we look at the most views. From that, we take the top 10. And then after we go over that list of top 10, which there will be links down in the description so you can check them out, me and Ted will each pick one that we're kind of interested or intrigue us and we want to talk about when we do that. So with that, I'm going to jump into that top 10 list. I'm going to grab my handy dandy device here and pull it up over on D&D Beyond. We have Pixie Dust Raw, Pocket Sand, Potion of Healing Lesser, Expired Healing Potion, Arcanite Cigars, Potion of Sleep, Potion of Dragon Breath, Alabandr's Dwarven Draught of Thunder, Albert's Flask, and finally, Potion of Regeneration.
All right, so, before we go any bit further, I think, we got to talk about the elephant in the room and throw out a disclaimer of, what constitutes a potion?
Yeah, we definitely need to go over that. I'm going to bring that up on D&D Beyond as well. Potions and what's a potions, what is a potion. Different kinds of magical liquids are grouped in the category of potions. Brews made from enchanted herbs, water from magical fountains, or sacred springs and oils that are applied to the creature or object. Most potions consist of 1 ounce of liquid. Potions are consumable magic items. Drinking a potion or administering a potion to another character requires an action. Applying an oil might take longer, as specified in its description. Once used, the potion takes effect immediately and is used up. Now, why is it we have to bring up this disclaimer, Ted?
All right, so we had to go through the list of the top 10 homebrew potions. And a lot of things just really didn't fit into the mold of a potion. I was really intrigued by Pocket Sand, but it's pocket sand. It's ground sand and glass that you throw into someone's eyes.
Making it an item, not a potion.
It's consumable. It's definitely there, but it's not made from magical herbs. It's not, divine liquids or enchanted springs. It's not applied to your body for a benefit or drunk to get a benefit or curse. You throw it at somebody, not a potion. So, yeah.
Nor is it magical. And there's 3 other items like that where they're like, oh, this is cool, but it's not the thing, right? But before you go any further, and get into our picks, quick disclaimer, this is a sponsored video by D&D Beyond. As we mentioned, you can check out all of the homebrew items down in the list below, and you can see the ones that aren't actually potions and the ones that are. I think all you need is a free account over on D&D Beyond, and you can go look those up. In addition to that, we'll put a link over there to our Factor of 3 series over on the website, where Doug is going to do what we do, but more in depth, and by a factor of 3, he comes up with top 10 lists. So 3 top 10 lists. There will be links in the description and possibly up here in the cards as well.
So I'm going to pull out, my device, and my pick is Alabandr's Dwarven Draught of Thunder. Now, this is a long one. It's made by Wand of Dorcas. I think I've seen that name before. This is a potion that's common for many years. The common perception was that Dwarven culture did not produce many traditional magic users, and that those they did were more akin to smiths and artificers, weaving their craft to enhance and enchant the sharp blades and stout armor that allow the dwarves to survive and thrive in territories where goblins, orcs, and more sinister foes are constantly arrayed against them. While it's true that the martial enchantments woven by dwarven wizards are the finest in the land, surpassing even those of the elves, their skills is not limited to these alone. The perception that their craft was limited to armor and weapons has recently been challenged by several emerging mages of surpassing excellence whose power and creativity nevertheless remain uniquely dwarven. Barnabas Alabandr, son of the famed brewer Cornelius, is one of these. Alabandr's thunderous dwarven draught of thunder is a magical elixir which temporarily empowers the vocal cords of the imbiber, allowing them to generate a close-range sonic attack. Upon consumption of this thunderous draught, the imbiber immediately feels the trembling surge of magical energy in the sensation of which is comparable to the need to belch. If the imbiber opts to make the attack after the consumption, they may use their bonus action to emit a thunderous cone of sonic energy in a 90-degree arc, initiating at their mouth and extending 15 feet. The belch can be heard for approximately 300 feet and does 1d8 plus the character's constitution modifier and thunder damage to creatures within the arc. If the imbiber wishes to delay, it may make a constitution save, DC 13. If it succeeds, the imbiber may hold the belch until their next turn. In the interim, the imbiber may not speak, move, and must maintain concentration. On their next turn, as an action, the imbiber may release an even more titanic belch, which is audible for approximately 500 feet and does 2d6 plus constitution modifier damage. Additionally, any targets within the cone must make the strength save DC 13 or fall prone. Should an imbiber attempt to hold their belch fail their initial saving throw, attempt to speak or move while waiting for the next round, or have their concentration broken, they will suffer 1d6 thunder damage and must make a con save DC 15 or be stunned for their next turn. Failing to do the attack in the second round has an identical effect to a failed initial saving throw. In either case, the potion's attack becomes wasted. Alabandr's Draught of Thunder is a golden semi-opaque liquid which constantly bubbles. Indeed, the sound of thick, almost subterranean bubbling is faintly audible when one is carrying a flask of this potion. So, a bit long-winded, but absolutely amusing, and I love the idea of a titanic belch.
I do. I feel like the mechanics could use a little cleaning up.
Sure.
Like going from a D8 to 2D6 is a little weird. Why not just be 2D8?
Sure.
I mean, let's face it, it is just a lesser version of Thunderwave. So I feel like if you're going to have a risk-reward factor, it should be cooler.
I would agree. I also don't like that there is like two different saving throws. Items that are typically enchanted have a set DC. So regardless of where it is in the spectrum, whether I'm making it, whether you're making it, it needs to be uniform. You
should think it should be the same. Yeah, I mean, in theory, I like it. It's pretty cool. It's a common item, so I guess that is the thinking. But again, it's like still like how readily available is it?
Sure.
Or are you gonna be able to have it a ton? And also, like drinking a potion as an action, and then spending this, saving it for the next round, can't do anything.
Right.
And there's a chance that you explode on the inside, and then you can use it on the third round to do
the second round.
No, because you got to hold.
You hold it until your next action.
Okay, so you hold it till your next action. So really, all of that to do less than a first level spell.
Yep.
That would be my only thing. I would like. You could literally just be like, all right, this is just Thunderwave that you drink and then you burp out.
Thunderwave that you drink. I'm there for it.
So that is the change that I would make on that,
and that's what I would do as well. I would allow for the, you have to make a concentration check, but I would be okay with you're allowed to move. It's an action to drink because it's mighty, and then an action to release it later. Sure, I'm here for it.
Yeah, the concentration, like I wouldn't have you lose your movement or any kind of actions or anything like that to hold it in. It would just be, and also like instead of a constant, like it is kind of the same, but I would say it was like a concentration check to hold it.
Sure.
I don't know if it called it out that way or if it's just a con save to hold it.
You have to make a con save, and you are considered concentrating. Yeah. So like if you don't take damage, there is no concentration effect to make just to like walk across the room or whatnot. But I don't know. What do you got?
All right, I got Expired Healing Potion because maybe your DM's just a jerk. So the potion of red liquid has turned a dark burgundy. It runs like syrup and is hard to swallow. You gag as it settles in your stomach. You regain 2d4 plus 4 hit points when you drink this potion. You also roll a die 6 and consult the chart. 1 or 2, you have a Okay, so we have a chart, and on a 1 or 2, I have to pee. Player must move at least 10 feet every turn. Effect lasts until player relieves themselves. 3, 4. I don't feel good. Player has disadvantage on all actions and attacks until they take a long rest or spend a turn vomiting. 5 or 6. I'm drunk. I think. It says I drunk. I'm think. 5, 6. I drunk. I'm think. The player becomes extremely intoxicated. They gain a resistance to bludgeoning damage, but disadvantage on wisdom, intelligence, and charisma-based action spells or skills. And this is by Ezravert.
All right, well, that one is a bit weird. So it's an expired healing potion, which means it's still going to heal you, but, produce some wonky effects. I think there are some people who are like, you know what, I'm so bad off. Can I take the expired one and just deal with the repercussions later?
Yeah, and also too, like it kind of creates an interesting dynamic in a sense. If there's anything that causes an effect for like food and drink to spoil, you could, and they have healing potions, you could be like, oh, okay. And then it's not so much that you're giving them the expired healing potion, but they already have it, or they already have the potion, and now it's expired because something has happened to it. And I'm pretty sure there's like regional effects and different things in the game that'll cause things to spoil. So this might be something you want to break out, and for a nasty surprise for your players. It's kind of like a somewhat cursed magic item. Like there's a benefit, but there's also a bad thing going on. And honestly, even the one that makes you sick, it's like spends a turn vomiting. If you're not in combat and nothing's going on, right? Like it's not a big deal.
Sure.
Or or even like I'm going to lose a round to the hurl, but I got some hit points back.
Right. And that's something that I think like some people might be like, all right, well, can I get some 2d4+2s, take them to this regional effect, get them essentially doubled, because now they're going to be 4d4+4. All right. Yeah, they produce some weird effects on the aftermath, but it doubles the amount of healing, could be worthwhile.
Maybe. But anyway, it's just a fun, interesting trick to play on your players.
Sure.
Early editions of the game, DMs were always playing tricks on the players. I mean, right in the DMG, there's the image of the players, the party laying out strings so they don't get lost, and the troll is behind them reeling it up so that they do get lost. So,
or just the classic, somebody flipping the stones that
they mark,
that you're marking with an arrow, whether you're turning it completely over or just changing the direction.
Yeah, for sure. So it's just a fun trick you can play on your players. I wouldn't do it all the time. Or even you could have it in a reward and be like, they can identify it and it comes up as a heal potion because it is. Maybe you put a date on it, right? And don't say anything. For whatever reason, this alchemist, they use cheaper ingredients. So there's a shelf life or whatever.
Sure.
But the question is, what do you think? Have you homebrewed any potions and put them on D&D Beyond? Are they really potions? Let us know in the comments below and share it with the Nerdarchy community.
While you're down there, don't forget to do all those fun things like share, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single video.
Quick reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we drop new videos here on the channel, so come on back. Can't wait till then. No worries. We've got you covered. Up here, you can find the last video for the top 10 homebrew D&D Beyond list we did for Scrolls.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.